Hey guys, so we are continuing in the book of Proverbs, and today we're going to be talking about how to become poor and rich. That sounds kind of strange, doesn't it? Poor and rich. Well, it may sound strange, but that's exactly what this verse in chapter number 10 in the book of Proverbs is talking about. It says, "Idle hands make one poor, but diligent hands bring riches." Idle hands make one poor, but diligent hands bring riches. So let's first figure out what idle hands are. So the word idle means lazy. And so to have idle hands is to have lazy hands. Now, what is laziness? Well, laziness is avoiding effort. That's a very simple definition of laziness, is avoiding effort. Avoiding anything that is difficult. And that's not just physically, but also mentally. Anything that is difficult mentally or physically. And to avoid anything, to try to avoid anything that requires mental or physical effort, will be considered an act of laziness. So, the verse is saying, then, that when you avoid effort, when that is what you do, that is something that defines your life, you would try to avoid effort. You try to avoid trying hard to do things that are difficult. It says, when you do that, you become poor. Now, we got to figure out what poor means now, because poor can mean lots of different things. In order to understand what poor means, you have to understand what rich means, however, right? Let's figure out first what rich means, then we can figure out what poor means. So to be rich is to have things that are valuable, to have things that are worth something, are worth a lot. So to be poor then is to not have things that are valuable. Makes sense, right? So if you're rich, then you have valuable things. You have things that are worth a lot. If you're poor, then you don't have things that are valuable. You don't have valuable things. So what are some valuable things then that you could be rich or poor in? Because usually the first thing we think of is just money, but there's a lot more to it than that. You could be rich or poor in more than just money. For example, friends. Yes, friends is valuable, is it not? Is it not something that is worth value, that has worth to it, is having friends? Yes, it is. And so you can either be poor in friends or you can be rich in friends, depending on if you do the difficult things, if you're willing to put forth effort to do the difficult things that you have to do in order to have friends. It's not easy having friends. You have to be able to, first of all, talk to other kids. Now, some of you, I know for a fact that you find that pretty easy, but some don't find it very easy. For some, it's very difficult. It's not easy to go out and just talk to other kids. It's easier just to wait for them to talk to you, but that's not always going to happen in life. Maybe it's easier now when you're a kid because most kids like talking to each other. But as you get older, it may become more difficult. So it's good to practice now. So if you want to be rich in friends, you got to be able to do the effort, put forth the effort of talking, socializing with other kids, and you have to be able to get to know them. Right? That's difficult. You have to be willing to do the hard work of trying to get to know them and finding out things about them, and not just the easy thing to do would be just, just play games, have fun, or just talk about yourself all the time. And that's the easy thing to do. But the hard thing to do is actually try to get to know the other person. And when you do that, you can make a real friend, not just someone that you play games with, but someone that you really know. And that's hard work. And so if you want to be rich in friends, you got to do the hard work of also helping them when they need your help. Okay? Sometimes it's difficult to go out of your way to help someone else who needs your help. Sometimes it's just inconvenient and you don't feel like doing it, and it's just too much trouble for you. Well, if you want to be rich in friends, you got to be able to do the hard work of helping them and getting to know them and talking to them. Then there's brains. Yes, you can be rich in brains and you could be poor in brains. And how can you be rich in brains? Well, first, you got to be able to read books, right? And not necessarily just, factual books, which is good. That's great. If you have a specific subject that you like science or math or reading, or not reading, science or math or uh, whatever, whatever you like, read books about that subject or read fiction books about a specific genre like adventure or mystery, whatever. If you want to become smarter, well, reading is a pretty big thing. And it's not easy to read. It takes effort. And if you're lazy, well, you're not going to be rich in brains. You're going to be poor in brains. Working hard in school, obviously, right? You want to get smarter, you got to work hard in school and pay attention in class or to the online videos like this video. Are you paying attention? I hope so. And asking questions, asking people questions, people who know more than you, not people who don't know anything. Okay, you gotta ask questions to the right people, and that's work. Is asking them questions, but what's even harder is finding answers for yourself. Sometimes you have a question that maybe someone can't answer. Well, you find the answers yourself. Go on the internet, look for an answer, look it up in a book. That takes work. If you want to get smarter, you got to do the work. If you want to be rich in brains, you got to do the work. And then there's health. That's a big one. Being healthy is not easy. You got to eat right. Okay? That's hard. It's easier to just eat a whole bunch of junk food and not worry about what the nutrition facts are and how many calories and how much fat is in the food. And well, that takes work trying to figure out whether what you're eating is right or healthy or unhealthy. And that's a lot of work. And most people don't want to do the work, and so that's why they end up being physically unhealthy, becoming overweight, and having blood pressure problems or heart problems and all sorts of other health issues. Exercising. Yes, exercising is not easy. It's easier just to lay around the couch all day and play video games. But if you want to be rich in health, not poor in health, then you need to be active and go outside and, do things, physical things, rather than just lying around all day. That takes work. Good hygiene. That's also a part of your health, is your hygiene. Brushing your teeth, showering every day. Okay, all those things. Flossing. That's also, all these things can help you. And it's not always easy to do that. Flossing is hard. Now, we're used to brushing our teeth every day, but flossing is a little bit harder. It takes more time. It takes more effort. If you don't want to put forth the effort, you're not going to be very rich in health. Praying to God, that's spiritual health. It's not just physical health, it's spiritual health too. Being able to find the time and put forth the effort of taking some time out of your day and just talking to God and telling him about your problems and asking him for help in different areas where you need help in. That's hard. And loving people is hard too. Loving people means doing difficult things, like maybe uh, giving away something you like to someone else who needs it. Right? That's not easy. There's lots of hard things that you have to do in order to actually show love to other people. And that all goes into your health, physical health, spiritual health. And then there's money. That's the last one. Money. Okay. But money is valuable, obviously. And we all want money. There's nothing wrong with wanting money. Okay. That's important. Obviously, we all need money. You can't be obsessed with it, though. Okay. But it is valuable. And it takes effort to have money. Okay. Especially uh, when it comes to saving money. See, a lot of people don't know how to save money. Actually, a lot of people know how to save money, but they don't want to put forth the effort. Okay, because sometimes you see something and you want to buy it, but you just you just can't resist that urge to buy that thing that you want. And so it's difficult to save your money sometimes because you just want to spend it. And spending your money wisely, spending your money on things that are important and not spending too much money on something. Maybe you don't need to spend uh, so much money on that thing that you want. Maybe buy something cheaper. Okay, and then doing chores, that could give you money if your parents are willing to give you money and pay you for doing chores around the house. That takes work too. And if you don't want to do the work, you'll be poor in money. So all those things that I mentioned: money, health, brains, friends, all those things are things that require effort. And if you don't put forth the effort, then you won't be rich in those things. You'll be poor in those things. So, how do you become poor? You don't put forth effort. You become lazy. How do you become rich? You put effort, and you are willing to do difficult things in order to get things that you want and things that are valuable. And that is the wonderful wisdom of Proverbs, once again, showing us things that we would not see were it not for these Proverbs. These are very important verses that I'm showing you. These are things that not a lot of people think about. And so it's important to think about these things. So, until next time.